Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is Sadaris Williams, here to talk about Troy University's Leadership Conference celebrating African American history. I want to thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you, Aaron, for having me today.
And talking about this conference is an annual event known for bringing some pretty spectacular keynote speakers, but also as a way to just educate in lessons in leadership in general. But for those who don't know about the conference, kind of give us a little bit of background information about what the conference is all about.
Well, the conference is about bringing in phenomenal speakers to our local area, to Troy, to support and to educate all the individuals in Troy and Pike County and surrounding area about African American History Month, and then also the growth of African Americans in the United States.
And the leadership portion of it, it's usually always starts and ends with some phenomenal speakers, and we'll talk about this year's speakers in a little bit. But in the middle, the main part of this is the lessons in leadership, and it's an opportunity for anyone in the community or Troy students to kind of get a little lesson on ways to improve their leadership skills.
Correct, there is. And so the great thing that we do for this conference is that we have two pretty much what we call plenary sessions or breakout sessions, one for our students and also one for our adults. And each session has about 3 different plenary speakers who come and present on different ideas and different tools of leadership that are related to our conference theme. This year we're bringing in 3 individuals for our student sessions. One is Dr. Joy Harden. Dr. Joy Bradford Harden. She's a licensed therapist in the Atlanta, Georgia area. She's also has her own podcast called Therapy for Black Girls. And recently she has also been on MTV. On a show on MTV, I think it was Teen Mom, matter of fact. We also have an individual named Mr. Jared Lockhart. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. He's works for the Morehouse Medical School and starting grant programs to enlist and to get more students into STEM programs. And also we have Mr. Maceo Henderson. Mr. Henderson is actually from Troy. He has his own business, and he actually has a nonprofit that he started recently to also get more students interested into the STEM program, STEM as well. And each individual is coming to present on different things. Mr. Henderson will be coming to us talking about the importance of how to prepare yourself for that transition, for that next phase in life, from college to the working world. And also sometimes even in the working world, when you have to change jobs, you have to change cities, how to adjust to it and how to prepare yourself for the day-to-day interactions. Mr. Lockhart, who's our second speaker for the day on Saturday, will be coming to speak to us about the importance of networking and kind of tell us about some new networking norms that they have out there in the world. So it's not just the same everyday social media networking or face-to-face networking. That he's going to tell us mainly about some new and exciting ways for networking. And Dr. Harden, she's coming to really break down the psychology of us sometimes, and psychological and trying to get more deeper inside of our students too as well. So hopefully all 3 sessions will be really concurrent, and I think they'll go really well with each other too as well.
Well, let's talk about the keynote speakers. We haven't touched on that yet. Talk about who you're bringing in for the opening and the closing addresses this year.
Our keynote speakers this year is Dr. Warnock. He's the pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia.
The pastor of the church that one of the historical elements that Martin Luther King preached at as well. So a little bit of historical aspects of that coming into this as a keynote speaker.
Yeah, yes, sir, it is. And that's one of the biggest reasons that we asked him to come this year. And our second speaker is Mr. Quentin Ross. Mr. Ross is currently the Chancellor, the President at Alabama State University too as well. So really honing in on the future and how do we move on in the future as leaders too as well.
And okay, so if anybody's interested in going, talk about registration and what they can do to register. So,
well, you can register online on the Troy website, or you can also stop by the Student Involvement Office where we register. We can register you as well, and we'll register you online there too as well. Registration is $15 for students and also $30 for non-students. If you are a student leader on campus, if you're highly involved in a student organization, if you're the president of a student organization, we actually register you. You actually can register for free.
Okay.
And you can just email Miss Tracy
Leverett?
Miss Tracy Leverett, and she will send you an email. And you email Miss Leverett about registering you for the conference.
All right. And then when the conference when's it going to be?
The conference is February 1st and 2nd. We start registration in the Trojan Center on the 1st about 5:30. The conference will start at about 6:30 and we'll end about 8. On the second day, on February 2nd, we will start about 8:30 in our student sessions, and we'll have our luncheon speaker about 11:30, 12 o'clock.
All right. Well, here's hoping some folks take advantage of it, especially the students that are going to get to do it for free.
Oh,
They've
yes, sir.
learned today
Yeah.
and just found out they're going to get to do it. So I want to thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.